Hi, I'm Denyce Graves, and I have spent most of my life as an opera singer and as an educator. The opera world knows me for my portrayals of two of opera's greatest, baddest femme fatales, Carmen and Delilah. But what you may not know is that as much as I love to burn up the stage, I also love to burn in the kitchen. I love to cook. So for me, singing and cooking reach people in the same way that is satisfying and that connects us. So I've blended together these two and created a talk show, a cooking show, and a performing platform, all stirred up together. And I know that you guys are the king of the puns.
This is a great way to get your aggressions out.
Hell yeah.
Can't burn the garlic.
You cannot burn the garlic. This format for Cooking with Denyce isn't like any other show. I'm in my orchard and in my garden. CWD is reimagining presenting performing artists, classical artists, to the popular culture, to inclusive communities, and to the world.
Stood up, I just said,
yes! The performing stage, pouring the tea with our stories.
Oh, it's easy. The first thing you do is you put the clams in last. You know?
That's so awesome! Distinctive recipes from all over the world. Tout le monde.
Ciao, amore. Ciao, mio grande amore.
Plus life tips and ingredients for success.
Allow nothing to impede whatever it is that your heart can dream of.
Nothing.
They want nothing to do with you.
The way Billie Eilish sings, I should have talked to me for 3 days. You know, I mean, it's like, really?
Well, it's pretty impressive what you did do.
This is war now, Laura.
Right.
Where's the sugar go? Oh my God. It so happened. Oh. This is so good. My goal is to serve and to nourish you inside and out. So join us. Let's get cooking. So excited to introduce our guest today. He's one of the great luminaries in the music industry, artistic director of the New York City Opera. And I learned that he was appointed by the Italian government to the Accademia della Cucina. He is serious in the kitchen. He has his own online show called Capasso in the Kitchen. Everybody, this is Michael Capasso.
Everybody, welcome back. It's another episode of Capasso's COVID Quarantine Kitchen. Last time I told you I was going to try and get to the fishmonger. I did. I left home at 17 years old, starving. And I used to call her up and ask her what to do and how to make anything. And her most classic answer was when I was talking about clam sauce. And she said, well, the first thing you do, you put the clams in last.
Maestro Capasso, are you there?
I'm here.
There he
I'm
is.
definitely not a maestro, though. But
It's lovely to see you. I think you are. It's lovely to see you. And look, you match your cabinets.
you know, it's an Italian thing. You got to match. You know?
Oh, is that what it is? All right. Okay. Very good. Well, I know that you're amazing in the kitchen. And you've been cooking, you know, when we started this show, everybody said to me, have you had Michael Capasso? Have you had Michael Capasso? And then I went to go to look online and saw you doing spaghetti vongole, verace, and all these wonderful, great Italian dishes. And so I'm so happy that you were able to make time out of your schedule. I know that there's so much going on now with COVID and everything that's happening at your theater and the different projects that you're doing with New York City Opera that we're going to talk about, and I cannot wait to talk about. But for now, it's wonderful to be in your kitchen. Thank you for joining us. And tell us what we're going to be making today.
So we're making two dishes that are indigenous. They're from northern Italy. We're going to make a risotto milanese and an ossobuco milanese, both of which have nothing to do with my background, which is entirely from southern Italy. But I made a twist on the risotto. The risotto milanese is usually finished with Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. But in this case, since I'm working with a prima donna, I decided to change the cheese, the finished cheese, to a cheese that is called prima donna.
Prima donna!
It's this amazing blend of Gouda and Parmigiano. And when I went to my cheese guy, I shop a lot on Arthur Avenue in the Bronx. And I said, so what's with this cheese? And he said, an Italian went to Holland, and they figured it out. You know? and it is this, it's this magical, you know, mixture that, you know, gives you, it's a little nutty, it's a little buttery, and I think it's gonna make a tribute to you, one of the great prima donnas of all time.
Oh, Michael, that's so sweet. That's really lovely of you to say. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. So today's question in the first giveaway is, what is ossobuco made from? What is ossobuco made from? The first two people to email cookingwithdenise@gmail.com the correct answer will receive 2 bottles of the Opera Spice Blend. Please be sure to include your name and your mailing address. Good luck!
All right, well, talk me through it. I'm here and I'm ready. Ossobuco is not something that we had a lot when we were coming up, but what we used to have when I was a kid was oxtails.
Oh, sure, oxtails are delicious.
Yeah, and we used to have it sort of in this, you know, sort of prepared the same way.
Right. So this dish is actually really, really much part of the region of Lombardia and the Veneto, in that it does not include the sofrito or the battuta, which is what a lot of it, most ossobuco recipes, have tomato, and they have the holy trinity of carrot and onion and celery.
Right.
It's called either battuta or sofrito, depending on what Italian you're talking to. And guess what? No two Italians agree on how to make anything.
That's right.
Anyway, so that's right. My opinion. But this is a lighter dish. It's very, very easy. It just includes dredging the ossobuco in. Well, first of all, you season the ossobuco with salt and pepper. Then you season the flour with salt and pepper.
Yes.
And then you dredge it, because I believe, and I have learned, that every stage of cooking should include more seasoning whenever possible.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
Because, it's all about big flavor. And if you don't have big flavor, what's the point?
What's the point? What's the point?
So you dredge the ossobuco, and then you brown it in a combination of butter and olive oil. And which, again, what you could brown sawdust in butter and olive oil, it would be okay, right?
That is right. There's nothing wrong there. Hell.
A little bit of salt and pepper, and you'll get a little bit of a crispy caramelization on the outside of the meat. after a while. And
Right.
once you do that and you brown it on all sides, you remove the meat just briefly, and you deglaze the pan with white wine and a little bit of fresh lemon juice.
Yeah.
And you get that going. And you should always use a white wine or any wine when you're cooking. They always say use a wine that you would not mind drinking. And,
Is that right?
And sometimes people say, in a recipe, use the leftover wine from the night before. That's never happened to me yet. I'm still waiting for the day that I got leftover wine for the night before. So,
Salud! Salud, Maestro! Salud! Right. That's awesome.
Have fun, and cooking should be fun. It should not be laborious. It should not be. And why I love to cook is because it can be fun, and why I don't like to bake is because baking is a science experiment, and I failed.
Oh.
I can't do anything like that.
I see.
I learned from my grandmother who said, things like, "When is it ready? When the color's right."
Right.
How long do you cook it? Enough. Things like that. So you got to, there's a little bit of trial and error in going on. But anyway, once you get this ossobuco brown, and then you are able to deglaze the pan, then you reintroduce the meat. And I like to use lots of lemon slices.
Yeah, I saw that.
At the bottom of the pan, and then lemon on the top of the meat, especially on top of the bone marrow, because it's going to make an amazingly flavorful marrow. And eating the marrow is, frankly, I think it's the best part of the ossobuco. But this will make it really, really flavorful, and it gives it a little kick too, and it's really nice.
Yeah, we're coming along. You think I should take it out? I usually like to have it get a little bit more brown than that, but it's coming along.
Well, it's up to you.
See that?
I mean, it's gonna braise for a long time. So as long as you've got a little bit of a crust and it's a little caramelized on the outside, you should be okay.
We're good, huh? All right. Well, let's rock out so we can just keep this party going. So I'm going to put some lemon juice in that and deglaze that with some white wine.
Yes.
Oh.
And a little salt and pepper again, maybe.
Right. And I know you, like a lot of people, you just do that by feeling. It's a feeling thing.
Yeah, I'm not good with trying to say it's a teaspoon or it's a this or that. It's I learned from my grandmother. I would call her up and say, what do you do? In my episode on on clam sauce, I asked her, how do you make clam sauce? And her answer was, oh, it's easy. The first thing you do is you put the clams in last.
That's so awesome.
Once the butter and olive oil are kind of bubbling a little bit,
yes.
Recipe. This is 1 cup of arborio rice.
Yes.
Which you can use arborio or you can use yellone nano, any one of these, proper, rices.
Right.
And 1 cup will get you more or less 4 servings.
Okay.
Which I think is enough. Definitely enough today. But that's more or less the like pasta. 1/4 pound of pasta is 1 serving of pasta, more or less, for a human serving. I like more, but so if you use a cup of the rice, so get the rice in there and onion.
Yes. All right, got the onion going.
Hi, it's me, and I am in my garden. I don't know if you can see. Try to see if you can see that some tomatoes behind me. They're still green, but over here we've got some squash going on and some cabbage. See if you can see some of that. It's all in there. lettuce here. Some more lettuce there. Some cabbage. We've had a problem this season with the Japanese beetles. They've been everywhere. So they've been after all of the crops. But they didn't take everything. Got lots and lots of zucchini. Like we always do because we love zucchini over here. What have we got over here? More lettuce. So, I'm in the garden and I just picked some lettuce. See that? I'm gonna go back and make myself a fabulous salad now. Yay! And this is Cooking with Denyce. And today, I've just been in my garden picking lettuce. So much lettuce. Look at all the lettuce that I picked. I'm gonna see if I can show it to you. See all that? It's like a bouquet. Like that time at La Scala when they threw those radishes at Maria Callas. You know, because the Tibaldi fans threw it at Maria Callas. And she embraced them just like it was a beautiful bouquet of roses. That's what that moment just made me think of. My bouquet. So I've gathered that and been starting to wash some of that lettuce here. We have two different types of lettuce because I love salads. I actually really do love salads. But it's a big job, you know, getting it all off. So it comes like some of it like this. You've got to pick each leaf off, get all the dirt off. You've got to wash it many, many, many times. You know how when you go to the store it says, 3 times washed or triply washed. You've got to sometimes wash it much, much more than that. And then yesterday, I picked so much zucchini. Look at all this zucchini. There's like 10, 11, 12 different zucchini. So I'm gonna take some to the neighbors and take some with me to New York and bring some to some friends of mine because we've got lots and lots of zucchini. We've got tomatoes growing, an eggplant, which is really, really cute, coming along. But right now I've got this big, awesome task of cleaning this lettuce. Get the dirt off of all the lettuce. So here I am, washing some of the lettuce. You gotta wash it really well. It's like this on the stalk. And you take it off a leaf at a time, right? And you have to wash it and wash it and wash it and wash it to make sure there's no dirt on it. But some people like the dirt. Some people say that it's healthy for you and that it's good for you. I'm not sure I'm there with that, but I do believe in good, healthy, organically grown food, which this is what we're doing here at the farm.
When the world was different, and in the beginning of my career, what I used to do is I used to go to, when I was in Italy and when I was in France, I'd go to these old women's houses. They were often advertised, and I would learn to cook from them. I would go to their, these classes that they teach for a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
Right.
And it was just so wonderful. And you have to speak the language, and really watch what was going on. It was small groups of people, and I loved that. And I lived in France for a long while.
Oh, lucky you.
And, yes, I do consider myself lucky, that's for sure.
We're all lucky.
Yes,
so now that it's getting a little buttery looking and a little yellow looking, then start to introduce the
broth.
And just a little bit at a time. And stir. And let everything absorb the broth. And this is a dish that just takes a while. It is what it is. Have you there's a book called Slow Food.
No, I don't know it.
Well, it's the opposite of obviously, fast
Sure.
food. And it's that, if it's okay to take time to, let things develop and cook. And if you order in a restaurant and it comes back within 3 minutes, it's likely not fresh.
That's right. That is right. I had one of the most amazing experiences. I'm just remembering now in Verona.
Oh.
I was going to go meet my agent there, and he had me meet him at some restaurant. I don't remember. And so I arrived, and Senora Graves, they said, vieni. So I came in, and then I was going to meet him they said he's unable to meet you today for lunch. He had something happen. And they said, but we're going to make lunch for you. And I said, well, is there a menu? And they said, no, there's no menu. And I said, well, how can I? They said, well, what do you want to have? We'll just make whatever it is you want to have. That was extraordinary. I thought. Yeah.
When you walk into
I love the Italians.
And, io vorrei qualcosa locale, basta. Whatever
That's right.
It's local, always eat, I've been also lucky to work, in certain, like in Mallorca, which I did.
Oh.
I did 2 shows in Mallorca and I had fun.
Oh, I've never been there.
What was crazy was the lifestyle there was, you'd fit rehearsal. The general rehearsals were at 9 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, you went to go eat. And these people were up till 5 o'clock. And you're like, don't these people work? What is going on here? Restaurants packed 1 o'clock in the morning.
I was in Santiago de Compostela. Mm-hmm. And I got to my hotel, and there was something from the, presenter saying, welcome, blah, blah, blah. Rehearsals at 11. So I don't have to tell you the rest of the story.
Right.
So I get to 10:30, I go over there. The theater's locked. All the doors are closed. Nobody's around. I said, I know that it said 11 o'clock. 10 minutes to 11. They said, that's tonight. And I said, what? The rehearsal started at 11 p.m. And so did the operas, by the way. Yeah, we would be having, just exactly like you said, we'd be at 5 o'clock in the morning, we'd be having dinner. Yeah.
Great fun. I mean, a lot of fun. It's just a great lifestyle. But the thing is, you learn the local food. I always want to eat what's local. I don't care, wherever I am. I don't order Italian food in Hungary. You order what they make there. And it's delicious, and it's what they know how to make.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrific. That's wonderful. All right, this is looking gorgeous. I put a little bit of, I know you don't do this, and this wasn't in your recipe. I put a little bit of carrots in there, and some garlic I throw in there too.
You can put anything you want in there.
Yeah. Boy, does that look delicious. That already looks delicious. Oh my gosh. It's looking great. What a wonderful dish.
It's nice.
And sometimes you could make this with potatoes. I guess you could do like creamed potatoes or something.
Well, you can never have too many starches. There are a couple of different places. There's one place in Milano when you must have, it's called Amatorale. Matoral or Matorel. It's an interesting name. But it's one of these, real Milanese trattorias where this is what they make. And, and a couple of various other ones too. There's also a Roman trattoria that I love called Armando al Pantheon, which is if you're standing in front of the Pantheon with the Pantheon to your back, it's diagonally to the left. And as only an Italian place could do, they are closed on Saturday night and Sunday. Because they say, ma perché chiuso sabato sera e domenica? Perché farlo? Because we can. They don't care. They have so much business. And they're like, you know what? We need a weekend too. And they're in like this incredibly touristy spot. They have 12 tables. If you need a reservation, like forever in advance. The food is amazing. It's real local Roman. You know, I've had crazy things like lamb intestines and, you know,
Right.
which sounds gross until you have it, you know.
Right.
Intestine d'agnello.
Oh.
I just like, again, it's whatever is the local thing is what I want to try. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not, but you got to try.
And what the hell is with, you know, Wednesday afternoons? Why are things closed down on Wednesday afternoons in Italy too?
I don't know. It's got to have it's got to be tied to some church history somewhere along.
But you know what? I love the Italians. I mean, I love the Italians. I've had some of the best experiences of my life in Italy. I remember once I was taking a train somewhere, and this guy got on the train and he said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to get a coffee." And the driver said, "Oh," he said, "you didn't have a coffee?" He said, "Go have a coffee. We'll wait for you." And then somebody said, "Yeah, but don't go to that one over there. They don't do a good one." No. Then somebody else stood up on the said, "No. Go to the one that's down the street. They do a really good coffee over there. This is the one you want to go to." Spectacular.
Classic. No, it's classic.
I mean, spectacular. You know, like certain things can wait, right?
Yeah.
You know, like have a good cup of coffee, and then we can go and we'll all sit here.
Yeah.
I had another thing happen to me once when I was in Palermo. I was in a hotel ristorante, and there were these two older gentlemen, Italian men, talking about something, and I heard the guy said, "You know, the cassata today is one of the best cassatas that I've ever had." And then he stood up with his glass and he said, "I am ordering cassata for everybody in the restaurant because it's so good." Is that gorgeous?
That's fantastic.
I'm sorry, that's beautiful. That was so beautiful, you know.
Palermo, I love Sicily. The bread in Palermo blew me away. There's no bread anywhere in the world like that. I just went crazy for the bread.
And they had some kind of oranges that I remember that I liked there.
Yeah, oranges there. Sicily's like, what's so fascinating is the because it was such a melting pot. So was Southern Italy. You know, my family, when they get their DNA done, it comes back somewhere between 12 and 20% North African.
Oh.
Because, you know, Naples and Sicily, they were all invaded by, you know, everybody was there at some point. They went there, they came back, and big time Greek, you know, and the name Capasso is actually, its origins are French. It's Capasso. Yeah, I don't, when they do the all that like history, I've got a whole thing that once was done, and they say that it's originally a French name.
Oh, is that right?
But the French conquered Naples.
Right.
Once upon a time. And so, you know, it makes sense, I guess.
So, Michael, what kind of stuff do you have going on? What have you been doing this time?
I've been gaining the COVID-19 pounds.
I know.
We are trying to have an outdoor season in Bryant Park over the summer. Great. Of big title operas, Butterfly, Rigoletto, and Barbiere, for the public, free to the public, with, you know, as much orchestra and as many performers as the government will allow. Then we're planning the New York premiere of the Central Park Five by Anthony Davis.
Wow.
Which will be in September, and we're going to do it in Central Park.
Wow.
Which is going to be, I think, really exciting. But the first thing we have planned indoors is not until January of 22, and that's the world premiere of The Garden of the Finzi-Contini, Il Giardino dei Finzi-Contini, which is based on the Bassano novel and the Vittorio De Sica film from 1970 that won the Academy Award. And it's a Holocaust piece that deals with Italians during the Holocaust. And our partner is the Museum of Jewish Heritage and the National Yiddish Theater. and we're going to do it there within their Holocaust Memorial exhibit in their theater, which is within their museum. We did a Holocaust jazz opera 2 years ago called Dear Eric also. So they're a really excellent partner for us. And we're looking at, we're starting to look at some online digital, content, but it's not easy. And it's also, for me, it's not the same. I'm sorry. Of course. I want to do, live, it's just not the same as live performance.
Well, we're finding ways to create still and doing things online. I understand nothing replaces that, that's for sure. But there's still, I did Grendel there at New York City Opera.
Oh, sure, I saw it.
Julie Taymor and Elliot. Yeah, that was something.
It was, and I always wondered why it never caught on.
I know. Well, the wall was a big, that $1 million wall was a big thing, I remember.
Yeah.
The $1 million wall that they couldn't get to function properly. I remember that was, we had so many rehearsals.
That's
for the wall.
We're trying, I think, for some of these contemporary works, if you develop them in a way where they're manageable for somebody else to do it again, and maybe somebody with lesser resources
be
able to do it again, but still do it.
Right.
You've got a chance that the piece can take off. There have been amazing, there's been some great stuff that has been premiered, and then it just dies. It has
heartbreak,
important performances, and then it's gone forever. Because of whatever, until it gets reimagined maybe by a different director. We did a piece called Dolores Claiborne, which was premiered at San Francisco Opera, and it was by Tobias Picker and Sandy McClatchy wrote the libretto. And I said, we want to do the New York premiere, but I want to completely rethink this opera. And then you find out that they did it. It was commissioned by San Francisco, and San Francisco has a huge chorus and a huge orchestra and endless resources, and so they want to use them.
Chorus.
Pay the orchestra to stay, half the orchestra to stay home, or half the chorus, or all of the chorus to not even show up, because these people are on guaranteed contracts. So what happens is an opera that should be a chamber opera ends up being a grand opera, and guess what? It's not good as a grand opera. And so when we reduced it and did it with 15 players and 6 people, it was an enormous success, because it was essentially what the piece was about, and that is the sometimes a problem. These new works have to be shaped for the opportunity for people to take a chance on them in the future.
Right.
You're not going to take a chance on a piece that's going to cost you a fortune and nobody's ever heard of, and they may not come. They're going to come see Madame Butterfly every day of the week. They're going to come for Rigoletto. They're going to come, but they're not going to come to something they never heard of with a subject matter they're not sure about. And, maybe it's gay, or maybe it's ethnic, or maybe it's something else, and people are afraid of it. But if you only need a portion of the audience to come and see it, then you could do it again, and then maybe it'll catch on, and then before you know it, you've got even Ghost of Versailles is only catching on now. After how long?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, forever.
20 years, yeah.
It had this big splashy Met premiere, and it was...
Sure, Marilyn Monroe.
And then it died. And until they went back and rethought it and reduced it, and now it's finally having a
renaissance.
And a deservedly good run.
Right.
Hi, everyone. So, the second giveaway in the Michael Capasso episode, the question is this. Before he became an impresario and stage director, which business was Michael Capasso in? Before he became an impresario and stage director, which business was Michael Capasso in? The first 2 people to email the correct answer at cookingwithdenise@gmail.com will receive a CWD t-shirt. Please be sure to include your name, your address, and your t-shirt size. Good luck to you. Bye-bye.
Where are you, Michael? Ah, look at that. That is glorious.
Should be good.
It looks divine.
And now I'm gonna add cheese.
Okay. To the risotto?
To the risotto.
Okay.
Now
I'm going to do the same.
This is this prima donna cheese.
You
Believe it or
betcha.
not, you can get it in just about anywhere now. It's become famous. It used to only be able to find it in specialty stores,
Yeah.
but I believe I have a local. I'm in Pennsylvania in my country house. There's a Price Chopper here that sells it.
You're kidding.
No. So even though I still go to Arthur Avenue, you can get it. So you lay in some of this, right? Get started. Give it a stir, lower the flame.
Come on. I mean, what is wrong with that? Nothing, man.
Nothing. Looks okay to me.
Works for me.
You gotta eat. You might as well eat this.
You may as well eat well. Gosh. Mamma mia. Yes. Ah, gorgeous. Michael, please get out of town.
Get a shot. You need another shot. Yeah. Yours looks gorgeous too. It's the same.
It's
I guess it's
There we are.
supposed to be the same, right?
There we are. You got to get a fork and a knife. You want some, Gloria? Yes. All right. Very good. Do you have people there that you can feed, Michael?
I have one person that I can feed and 3 doggies.
Oh,
Don't worry, we're gonna eat.
that's right. Very good. Excellent. Well, this is gorgeous and it looks spectacular. I'm going to taste some of this sauce here for the that the ossobuco is in. Wow, is that?
A little bread, it would be all right too.
Oh, that's gorgeous. And with the lemon in there, that little
I
bright
like the lemon.
in
The
there.
lemon gives it a little. It's just. It gives it the right kind of kick, and it's good.
Yeah, that is good.
It's different. It doesn't have that sofrito battuta, and then you use tomatoes and tomato paste.
Yes.
Which is a great dish.
Yeah.
You make that also with risotto or with polenta sometimes, which can be, look, there's a 1,000 ways to make, fabulous food. This is just one version.
Oh, thank you for showing this and sharing this recipe with me, Michael. I really, really love it. And most importantly, I've loved reconnecting with you and hearing your wonderful stories and all the beautiful projects that you're doing. I didn't even know about the Central Park 5 opera. That is amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really want to see that.
Well, it won the Pulitzer Prize last year. And,
Holy moly.
And we're going to bring it to New York and give it its New York premiere. And we're going to do it actually in Central Park, which is where it belongs. It's and again, that's why we're here. We have, if we don't do this, who's going to do it?
You're absolutely right.
It's like this again. And some of the larger, look, if it were, I tell people go, oh my God, you're doing this and that and the other thing. I said, look, if it were really up to me, you'd see Manon Lescaut a lot.
Oh, is that so?
Well, it's like I love, I'm deep into, I love the, this Verismo repertoire, and I want to do it all. But my responsibility to the public is not to do just what I want. It's to do what's valid for, what the company should do and what the public wants and what's going to serve the art.
You can put that's wonderful. Yeah, that is terrific. That's terrific. Well, God bless you for all these beautiful things that you are doing and I had no idea that City Opera was engaging on that level. And I didn't even know that they were even back in the 40s, engaging African-American artists back in that time.
Todd Duncan.
Oh, sure. Todd Duncan, sure.
Camilla Williams sang.
Oh, yeah.
They did the world premiere of Troubled Island.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, just amazing stuff over the years.
Wow.
Been very, very important part of that because, you know,
Right.
they have always had a history, and I subscribe to, you get the best people, and it
Right.
doesn't matter who they are. If they're good and they can sing, then they need a chance, and give them a chance.
That's right. That is right. That's terrific. Well, God bless you. And Michael, thank you so very much. It's been so much fun. I mean, I could stay on with you forever. I really have loved this time.
Thank you.
It's really been
And it's possible, let's go have a long boozy lunch and have a lot of laughs.
I'm going to so hold you to that.
Absolutely.
It's
You're the
done.
best.
Salud. Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. It was wonderful.
Me too. I enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
Me too. Thank you. All right. Ciao, amore, ciao.
City Opera.
You probably haven't thought about us for months.
I mean, who thinks about opera when you can't find hand sanitizer?
So, a bunch of us got together
while remaining socially distant
and masked to put together a message to you
from the artists.
Some new, some less new,
of the New York City Opera.
Don't tell anybody.
We came together from all over the country
and the world.
You've known us as vengeful villains
and women of woe
and romancing Romeos
and dominating divas.
So why are we here?
Well, like everybody else in the performing arts, we are unemployed with lots of time on our hands.
People say opera singers never drink.
Yep, 2:15.
Hang on. It's not coffee.
We all are missing the New York City Opera.
We're all hungry to sing again.
Heck, we are chomping at the bit.
Although no one wants me to sing again.
In a New York premiere.
Or a world premiere.
Or your favorite classics.
City Opera has launched the careers of hundreds of singers.
Like me.
And pioneered diversity in casting from our very beginning.
New York City Opera has given American composers the opportunities of a lifetime.
I always have appreciated New York City Opera as a trailblazer.
The bravest opera company in the world.
We are here
for City Opera.
And we hope you will be too.
Every donation counts.
And is greatly appreciated.
We need you. Please, be as generous as you can.
Muito obrigado.
감사합니다. Vielen Dank.
Gracias de todo corazón.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Toda. Brava.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. From all of the artists of the New York City Opera.